So by having Angel Reese on the cover is like basically saying, again, that's the Caitlin Clark effect. All of those names you mentioned a year ago, I believe most of the general populace would not know who they are. They know who they are a little bit.
This expansion, they're drunk on Caitlin Clark. Kunta Kinte has them drunk and thinking, hey, we can now expand. And I think the rosters are 12. Caitlin Clark is the slave that's building the WNBA, and all these black women are climbing all over top of her and piggybacking her to relevance and money. She's Kunta Kinte.
In this video, we're gonna break down the wildest contrast in women's basketball right now. On one side, we've got Angel Reese, who's traded her basketball for, let's just say, interesting career choices. On the other, there's Caitlin Clark, who's lighting up the scoreboard like it's the 4th of July. We'll show you how Angel went from court queen to social media scene, and why fans are calling foul. Plus, we'll dive into Caitlin's rise to the top and why she's becoming the new face of women's basketball.
Angel Reese is to be completely believed that there's no hate, they both get along, they're cool with each other, they're high-end competitors, etc., etc. And you also are old enough to know that in this society, whether they want to admit it or not, they don't like seeing somebody black coming at somebody white who is a beloved star of theirs. But you've known they were coming for you when you were waving your hands in your face to mock Caitlin Clark when you were beating her for the national championship.
Trust me, by the end of this, you'll be shaking your head in disbelief. Remember when Angel Reese was the talk of college basketball? This girl was on fire, dominating the court at LSU like nobody's business. She was racking up double-doubles like they were going out of style, 61 of them to be exact. And get this, she scored in double digits every single game she played. That's insane. But wait, it gets even crazier. Angel didn't just lead LSU to victory. She took them all the way to their first ever NCAA championship.
What is Angel Reese doing on the 50 most influential people in sports figures? Are you kidding me? A woman that rebounds and shows up half naked to games?
If you're going to put a black female from that league on that real estate, shouldn't it be Asia, not Angel Reese? Couple of things. I will say that about that cover with Miss Reese. It's an upgrade from some of the recent swimsuit edition cover models. I will give them that.
She was unstoppable, setting an NCAA record with 34 double-doubles in a single season. Everyone was talking about Angel Reese, the basketball phenom. Then things started to get a little weird. Angel began showing up to games looking like she'd raided a clearance rack at Fashion Nova. You won't believe what she wore to one game. It was so bad, fans were saying she looked like she got into a fight with a pair of scissors. Ouch. Even her teammates were probably thinking, girl, what are you doing? Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Angel's always talking about empowerment and being a role model, right? But have you seen her Instagram lately? It's like a thirst trap convention up in there. She's posting all these revealing pics and then turns around and says she's being objectified. Make it make sense. Things really hit the fan when that AI nudes scandal broke. Angel was out there crying about privacy invasion and being sexualized. She even said, I've been sexualized. I've stood strong. But come on, Angel, you can't have it both ways. People were calling her out left and right, saying she's a hypocrite for flaunting her body on social media and then getting all outraged when something like this happens. You know what's wild? When people started criticizing her for cheapening her brand with these outfit choices, Angel fired back on social media. She said, I thought the brand was cheapened. Cry about it. Talk about adding fuel to the fire. But while Angel was busy with her social media antics, another star was rising. You think you've seen impressive in women's basketball? Caitlin Clark is about to blow your mind. This girl isn't just playing the game, she's changing it. And the craziest part? She's just getting started. Let's talk about Caitlin Clark. This girl is on a whole other level. She's crushing it in college, breaking records like they're nothing. You know what's insane? While Angel's out there playing dress up, Caitlin's making history on the court.
She's the first rookie to win WNBA Player of the Month since the award's inception in 2010, and last night it was no exception. They were sky high for Caitlin Clark and the Fever, but to start the season, they had a little bit of a rough go of it. They lost their first 5 35 games. They ended up 1-8 through their first 9 games. And during that first month, the playoffs, they didn't feel realistic at all. Indy entered the Olympic break 11-15 on the year, and then they really turned it around. They've won 7 of their 8 since. They clinched a playoff berth for the first time since 2016, which, by the way, was the last year of Hall of Famer and franchise icon Tamika Catching's career.
She's not just good, she's changing the game. Imagine this. Caitlin Clark, a player so good she's outscoring entire teams by herself. That's not an exaggeration. In one game, she dropped 40 points while the opposing team only managed 32. That's like bringing a nuclear weapon to a water balloon fight. But here's where it gets really wild. Caitlin isn't just about scoring. She's got the full package. In the NCAA championship game, she did something no one has ever done before. Triple-double alert, 30 points, 17 rebounds, and 10 assists. That's not just good, that's video game numbers. You know what's even crazier? Caitlin's been doing this all season long. She's averaging 27 points, 8.6 assists, and 7 rebounds per game. That's not a hot streak, that's a supernova. And get this, while Angel's trending for her outfits, Caitlin's trending for dropping 40 points like it's nothing. She's had multiple 40-point games this season.
She has lived up to expectations, right? I'm looking at her the way I look at LeBron James, right? For us, just in the women's side of things, and the hype that she had, the expectations she had.
Let's start with the rookie, Caitlin Clark Kent. Superwoman, you see what I did there? She was on a tear, and last night was no different. Wings, fever. Caitlin Clark set to go as she broke the single-season assist record.
She's been playing like a top 5 player in the league. She's been regularly dishing out double-digit assists in that time frame. Teams can no longer blitz her and trap her.
That's like having multiple birthdays in a year. It just doesn't happen. But it's not just about the stats with Caitlin. Her coach, Lisa Bluter, calls her a generational talent. She says Caitlin has the ability to change the game and inspire a whole new generation of players. That's not just hype, that's the real deal. And you know what's really impressive? How Caitlin handles all this attention. While some players are out there stirring up drama on social media, Caitlin's just focused on her game. She said, "I just want to play basketball and let my game speak for itself." Now that's a class act. Not everyone can keep their cool under the spotlight. Remember how we said Caitlin's a class act? Well, Angel's about to give us a masterclass in how not to handle fame. How bad could it get? Let's just say even her own coach couldn't defend her actions. Angel Reese's off-court antics are finally catching up with her, and it's not pretty. Her behavior is starting to affect her team and her game in a big way. Fans and media are turning on her faster than you can say Instagram model. It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion, and everyone's got front row seats. Imagine this. Angel shows up to a game in another one of her ridiculous outfits, and the crowd actually boos her. That's how bad it's gotten. We're talking about a star player getting booed by her own fans. It's like she forgot she's there to play basketball, not walk the runway. But here's where it gets real. Angel's game is slipping. She's more focused on her looks than her layups. Her stats are dropping faster than her Instagram likes are rising. It's like she's trying to score points in a fashion show instead of on the court.
WNBA Player of the Week. There have only been 40 triple-doubles in the history of the WNBA. Cheryl Swoops recorded the first WNBA triple-double during the 1999 season, while Caitlin Clark logged the most recent triple-double earlier this week. She now has 102 on the season and is 19 away from Diana Taurasi in second place and 26 away from UNESCO of the New York Liberty. She ain't beating A'ja Wilson for the MVP, but she's beating Angel Reese for the Rookie of the Year. That's a wrap. That's over. And props to Angel Reese, who's had a good year, by the way.
You won't believe what happened next. Angel got ejected from a game for trash talking. We're not talking about a little smack talk here and there. No, this was full-on, over-the-line, jaw-dropping stuff. It was so bad, even her own coach was left speechless. When your coach can't defend you, you know you've messed up big time. And get this, the fallout didn't stop there. The WNBA fined Angel $1,000 for not speaking to the media after a game. That's right, she couldn't even be bothered to do the bare minimum of her job. And it's not just her. The Chicago Sky got hit with a $5,000 fine because of her. Talk about being a team player, huh? But wait, it gets worse. The Chicago Sky's record has tanked to 3-5 since all this drama started. It's like Angel's attitude is contagious, and the whole team is catching it. Fans are starting to wonder if she's more interested in being famous than being a good basketball player. Now everyone's asking the million-dollar question. Is Angel Reese throwing away her career for some likes on Instagram? It's like she's playing a game of chicken with her own reputation, and she's losing. Bad. Angel's Instagram antics might be grabbing headlines, but there's a quiet revolution happening on the other side of the court. What if I told you that women's basketball is on the verge of a seismic shift? The next chapter in this story is going to blow your mind. Let's talk about the WNBA draft. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark are both heading into the big leagues, but their paths couldn't be more different. It's like watching two different movies playing out at the same time. On one side, you've got Angel, who's been selected 7th overall. Sounds pretty good, right? Well, here's the kicker. Some teams were actually hesitant to draft her. Can you believe it? A player with her talent, and teams are thinking twice because of all the drama. Now, flip the script to Caitlin Clark. This girl is on fire, and everyone wants a piece of her. She's not just getting drafted, she's getting endorsement deals that would make LeBron James do a double take. We're talking about deals that could put her right up there with the top male athletes. That's not just breaking the glass ceiling, that's smashing it to smithereens. But here's where it gets really interesting. The WNBA is seeing a surge in viewership and engagement like never before. You'd think it's all because of the amazing basketball, right? Well, not exactly. People are tuning in for two very different reasons. Some want to see if Angel will have another meltdown on the court. It's like watching a reality show, but with basketballs. Then you've got the other half, who are glued to their screens to watch Caitlin break more records. It's like the league accidentally ordered a drama series and a sports documentary, and got them both delivered at the same time. You know what's crazy? Angel had this golden opportunity with the unrivaled basketball league. It could have been her big moment to turn things around, to show everyone she's more than just Instagram posts and controversy. But instead of seizing the moment, she let it slip through her fingers like a buttered basketball. It's like she's more focused on being a social media sensation than a basketball sensation. Meanwhile, Caitlin's out there changing the game. She's not just playing basketball, she's rewriting the rule book on what women's basketball can be. Every time she steps on the court, it's like watching the future of the sport unfold right before our eyes. So there you have it. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark are changing women's basketball, but in totally opposite ways. Angel's all about the drama, while Caitlin's letting her game do the talking. It's like watching two different movies playing out on the same court. You gotta wonder, is all this publicity good for the WNBA? Or is Angel Reese hurting the game more than helping it? It's a tough call, but one thing's for sure, the WNBA is about to get real interesting. Caitlin's breaking records left and right, while Angel's breaking, well, let's just say she's breaking something. The league's never seen anything like this before. You won't want to miss what happens next. It's gonna be wild.